Welcome to Animated Discussions. My friends call me D, and today, who knew yogurt could replace butter? Elio, a true believer of aliens with a desire to be abducted, has his biggest wish come true. Ecstatic at finding out he was right, Elio does everything he can to be able to stay in space, leading him into some pretty wild adventures.
Help me, Father! Quiet, you!
What is that unholy sound?
This movie stars Jonas Kebrieb, Zoe Saldana, and Remy Edgerly.
I think that one is you.
As a big believer in aliens with a desire to go into space one day, I was ready for this movie. I feel like it's rude that this movie was not made when I was a child. It's fine. I will forgive it. But I was very pumped about it. I thought it was very cute. I love the color scheme. I thought it was a very fun movie. It's funny, that's the second movie where Carl Sagan played a really big part in explaining processes and themes in this movie. The first one being The Life of Chuck. And it made me want to learn more about Carl Sagan. I had heard the name before, but I don't know a lot about him. They say you're not an expert at your craft until you can explain it to a first grader. And I feel like Carl Sagan, the way that the clips that I've seen of Carl Sagan through these two movies, I think he does a very good job of explaining huge things in a very beautiful and poetic way. And that's very interesting because science is not usually considered an art form. I would disagree. I would say that it is an art form, but because there's so much formula in it, that it's considered more regimented. And I think the way that I've heard Carl Sagan talk in these two movies, he seems like a very poetic person. It's fun watching an artistic expression of it here, I will say. I think it's amazing.
This is the most beautiful place I've ever seen.
This is the bathroom.
I think this movie had a beautiful opening that really cemented emotions very quickly. I think the first shot of two characters was really, really good, and I really enjoyed it. I don't know that I've had a animated movie opening hit me that hard since Up, but with everything I've gone through this past year, that might have had a lot to do with it. But I think it did a very good job of expressing that pain, and I still really feel that opener. I think that was really good, and it did make me tear up. I still think about it and process it. I really enjoyed Elio. I think Elio was a very cute character. He was a really cute kid. I will say Glordon was the heart of the movie. Glordon was just, I want a Glordon plushie so bad. He was just so cute. Glordon was also very interesting from an animated standpoint because he's a character that didn't have eyes. And in animation, you use eyes for emotion. In acting, you use eyes for emotion too. I talked about Morgan Freeman using his eyes a lot in Shawshank Redemption. That is a huge window to the soul. Eyes are the window to the soul. And so to have a character who has no eyes be one of the most emotional characters in the movie, oh, kudos. That was beautiful. I think that was beautifully done, and using different ways to showcase that emotion was awesome. And we see that a lot, but to not have any eyes at all, to choose for the character to not have eyes, I think was, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Animation uses eyes so much. I thought that was so creative. I really do. As far as what didn't work for the movie, there were a few concerns, problems, questions. There's a huge plot hole in the movie that I felt like was really important to fill, and I wonder why it didn't get filled. That was interesting to me. Why? We needed that answered. I don't know. So that was very interesting. There was also a very important scene that I felt. There was an important scene that I felt fell short. I knew why that scene was there. We needed that scene because we needed to build a relationship between two characters. It was also a fun tie-in to some characters we had underestimated and ignored before. It showcased what one character really does and brought the other character into that world so you could see the other side of the coin. I get everything that scene was supposed to do. I don't think it did it well. And I think it very much was kind of like an uncanny valley kind of moment. And that made me sad because it's such an important scene, and it's a scene that a lot of movies have to have. And it had that scene, but I don't know that it really did it justice, personally.
That's a thing for your species?
No, just a me thing. Everyone was shocked.
Now, there was a concern because this movie flopped in theaters that original movies are dead, especially original animated movies. And I have two things to say about that. One, I did not see a lot of advertisement for Elio. I saw maybe two commercials for it, and I work in Burbank. And I saw two advertisements for Elio. Now, granted, I don't watch a lot of satellite TV like cable, but there could have been so much fun that could have happened on social media to really advertise this movie. There could have been fun uh, trends you could have made up. There could have been fun tropes you could have done. Ballerina had the bloody ballet shoes hanging around everywhere. A24 is really good at using social media to advertise their movies in fun, creative ways. There's a lot that could have been done for this movie marketing wise that I feel like did not happen. And it makes me wonder if Disney did not have a lot of hope for this movie anyway and didn't want to advertise it a lot. Now, that being said, you could put a lot into advertising and people still won't go to the movie because word of mouth is also very important. I wasn't gonna see Sinners this year. I was like, I don't want to watch a movie about vampires, and from what I saw, it looked like KKK vampires attacking black slaves, so that doesn't sound fun to me. So I wasn't gonna see it. And then my friend was like, please, I'm begging you, go see it. So I went to see it, and then I saw it 3 times. So word of mouth is important, and here's why I feel like word of mouth did not pick up for this movie. This movie was very cookie cutter and it was like wanting, one of those glass Mexican Cokes, like a real nice cold glass Mexican Coke, and wanting that and then getting like a 99-cent can of Diet Shasta. It was very much a Disney movie. It followed the Disney formula, but there was something off about it. It was almost too Disney formulaic, and it almost seemed like a carbon copy of a Disney movie without fully having the heart of a good Disney movie. I was like, even within the first 10 minutes, I'm like, this is absolutely a Disney movie. And it's following that storyline that all Disney movies have, but it's not fully there in some areas. And that was very interesting to watch. I was like, something is just kind of off. I kind of felt like I was in the uncanny valley just a little bit. I couldn't figure out why. And that was very hard for me to watch because there's a fear that new movies, original content is not good. That's not the case. The biggest movies in the past few years have been original content. If you think about Everything Everywhere All at Once, if you think about Sinners, if you think about these kind of movies, Life of Chuck wasn't that big, but the reception of it was beautiful. And it was only in select theaters for a while. Those are the movies that are really like blowing up. Yes, we also have like Mad Max and Into the Spider-Verse. Like, I get that we do have some franchises that are being really good. Superman just did very well in the theaters as well. I get that. But the movies that are really like hitting home are the original movies. And so I feel like Elio had the ability to be a phenomenal movie. It just, something was off about it. And I wish I knew what it was. It just felt like it wasn't fully developed. And that makes me really sad. It's a long rant. I'm going to stop now. Overall, the movie was very cute and very sweet. I think something was missing, and I wish I had I hate having a critique without an answer, but I feel like I don't know exactly what it was. There was just something a little off about it. So overall, I give this movie like 2.5 Glordons out of 5. That puts it pretty low on the list for right now. It's not last. Brideheart will probably be the last the whole year. It would be interesting to see if someone beats Brideheart as the worst movie of the year. But yeah, if you want a cute, fun movie to talk about space and kind of introduce your children to astrophysics and science, I think this would be a great movie to do that. Hope you guys have a great day, and as always, see you later.